Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. You know what, there are only 2 weeks left here until spring, and as gardeners are well aware, this period of the year is when the workload out here really starts to ramp up. I mean, you're sowing seeds, you're potting up seedlings, you're clearing beds, you're buying tubers and bulbs. And you're going to your garden centre and just, trying to control yourself, not making any massive purchases because there is so much temptation out there. Like, this is what I'm talking about. So on Saturday, my daughter's soccer match was near a Bunnings store. I could actually see their sign from the pitch. And, temptation got the better of me. I popped in there, promising myself I wouldn't buy much at all. And I ended up getting this little plant haul. Starting off with this oregano, which has variegated foliage. I thought that would look really pretty in the garden. And for some potted colour, these two plants caught my eye, which I hadn't seen for sale there before. I ended up asking the guy in the centre what they were because I couldn't figure it out. These are actually a perennial called wallflowers, and the great thing about these is that they self-seed really well in your garden. And then finally I got a couple of white Gara plants, which I have grown here before. They unfortunately died off of me. These two are perennial and they are adored by the pollinators. Speaking of pollinators, I was delighted to see yesterday the very first hoverflies darting around these bok choy flowers. I did record a bit of footage. I'll pop that up on the screen now. Another major benefit of having hoverflies in your garden is that they are fantastic at helping control the aphid population, and that is because hoverfly larvae feast on aphids as they grow. So far so good. I haven't spotted any aphids, but give it a couple of weeks and they will be here in mass. I usually find they start off first on the rose plants. They seem to be attracted to the buds, which I guess give off a really nice fragrance. For anyone out there who doesn't know what aphids are, pretty much they are these little insects that, in my opinion, suck the life out of plants. Well, in fact, they do suck the sap out of the plants, causing them to turn like a yellow colour. They seem to weaken. Sometimes with the rose buds, they just drop off. They are really a very annoying pest here in the spring garden. Once they come into the garden again, I will go over with you a few ways that I try and manage these aphids without using any chemical sprays. And I'll also go through a couple of more beneficial insects which will help keep them under control. One of which is let me think, I haven't seen him in a while or her in a while. That's it, parasitic wasp. They do something really cool to aphids. They turn them into skeletons. I haven't had breakfast yet, so I thought I'd come out to the garden, grab some food like these chuck eggs, and make a little tasty meal. I'll just pop them in there. There is this tray like that other one I showed you a couple of weeks ago that had all the ranunculus in it. Well, I've got this one that's been sitting here for a while, full of, let me see, I always get Achillea and Equilecia mixed up. These are Equilecia or Granny's bonnet. And the sad thing about these is that I had them in this bed, then I changed my mind, dug them up, and this is where I put a lot of those ranunculus that I had in the trays. So even though I've got the ranunculus in the ground, I still have more to put out somewhere else. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked as usual. So I think I'll either make like a little omelette or just kind of like scramble everything together. I'm grabbing some, I can never take these off, there we go. Some of this chard, maybe a few of the colourful stems that I have dotted around the garden too, like this orange one. This here is the purple mizuna. I actually might just see how this goes, being fried up with all of the chard. Grabbing a stem of celery. These stems have been really damaged by slugs and snails. I actually found a slug on them. One slug the other day. Look at the state of that one. You can still eat it though, there's nothing wrong with it. Next I'll grab this spring onion. Ooh, that one's stuck in there, doesn't want to come out. Hold on, I'll put these down for a sec. What's going on? You just don't want to come out of there, do you? Okay, swap hands. Don't know why it's like that. It feels like it's really deep down. I don't want to break it off. Oh, there, got it. Oh, look at that. No wonder it has a big root system. And a little worm was hanging out down there too. Popping all of them in here. You know, this is just going to be very rough and ready meal. Nothing fancy here. Nothing that you'd get in a gourmet restaurant. But we'll see. I think it will turn out nice and tasty. You know, every single week I say, I must show you my pea plants, or these, I think they're snap peas, and I never do. Probably that's a subconscious choice, because very embarrassingly, I haven't tied them up yet. They are just drooped over here, growing along the ground. But look at this. The first little pea has started to develop. That's about it, so I can't really add any of them into the meal today. Finally, how about I grab some of these lovely, delicious sweet oranges to make some juice. That should be enough. It's only for myself. I'm inside now. I gave all of the greens a bit of a wash. I've just started to chop it up, and I did want to say, with these lovely colourful stems, you can put them to the side and treat them a bit like a garnish or another texture for the omelette. But for today, because I'm in a little bit of a rush, I'm just going to chop everything at the same time. I know this looks like a lot, but don't forget, most of it will wilt down, especially the chard and the purple mizuna. I just realized I haven't even explained to you what I am doing. So the plan is to pre-cook this mix, then after I will make the omelette base, and then I'll put this in the center before I fold the egg over. I've got the hot plate on, give it a little spray with some canola oil. Getting pretty steamy. So, oh, look at that. Told you I wasn't a very good chef. I missed this massive piece, so I'll put that to the side. I'm going to add in a little bit of minced garlic, salt and pepper, and some of this onion powder. I'm pretty happy with how that's wilted down, so I'm going to take it off the heat now. And I did add in that piece that I removed. I just chopped it up a bit more, or chopped it up and popped it in. Whoa. Okay, let's do the eggs. I don't know if I'll be able, no, I will not be able to do this one-handed. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll have to put the phone down for the other one. A quick whisk. Now, this is where the cooking gods will decide if this is going to be an omelette or a scrambled concoction. I've got my spatula ready. I've turned the temperature down. On go the eggs. Just attempting to spread them out a bit. Whoa. On goes the filling. I'll push it over to one side. Actually, it's not looking too bad. Now, let's try and flip over this half. Is it going to work? Oh, that looks all right. I know I sound surprised, but I have made omelettes many times before, just not with using one hand only. I've just slithered her onto this plate. You know, I forgot to add some cheese. I do like cheese on my omelettes. But what you can also do is just sprinkle some cheese on top and then place this under the grill for a lovely, refreshing drink. I'm going to juice these oranges. Top it up with some ice cubes. All done. I mean, it doesn't get fresher than this. Look at all that green goodness in there. Piping hot, enclosed by some fresh eggs from our girls. How cute is this? Oh, they're running away from me. Ever since we have had all that rain, there are ducks all over the streets here. I think they're coming from the creeks or something. Oh look, they're not having a bar of me. They're running off. Oh, could you imagine if they waddled their way into this back garden? Sorry, I'm being distracted. There's some insect flying around. Little green thing, I'm not sure what it is, some type of bug. Oh, I'm actually really happy to see all the little creatures make an appearance again. It's another great sign that spring is almost here. Sorry, I was getting distracted. Oh yeah, I was just talking about if the ducks came to the back garden and maybe made it their home. Well, actually, I don't think they'd be very happy here because we don't have a pond, so they'd have nowhere to paddle, and I'm not very keen on getting a pond at the moment, especially with my 3 kids being fairly young. You know, there's a lot of dangers here with snakes. We've had quite a few brown snakes in our backyard, and, you know, I don't want to attract them anymore, giving them a water source. And to be very frank with you, if I'm completely honest, I don't want to have any more responsibility in my life. I've got enough going on with other things, my family and kids. I think I'll leave, you know, getting ducks possibly for a bit longer, but they would sure be awesome, and I know a lot of you have recommended them. They do a fantastic job at keeping the slugs and snails under control. Check out this whopper of a lemon. It's bigger than my hand and it seems to be ripening up nicely. The blueberry bushes are packed with flowers. These will all turn into little blueberries eventually. Look how dainty their little blooms are and how they hang down in a kind of like bell shape. Speaking of berries, our mulberry tree is absolutely packed with them. Like, look at these branches, my goodness. I'm going to cover some of these with the fruit protector bags because last year the cheeky little birds got to most of them and my children weren't very happy about that. Now, do you remember last year, it was last October, we had that major storm where this tree got chopped. Well, I had to cut it here, it was so badly damaged. But look at it, it's made a full recovery, putting out all of these shoots, and it's absolutely glorious. Lots of seedlings in the greenhouse that I've potted up. This is a bunch of dill that I need to find space for. I've already put quite a lot out in the garden. Dill is one of my favourite summer herbs to grow, and that is because it satisfies both my love of growing food and cut flowers. Many uses for this in the kitchen. During summer I like to add it to my brine when I'm pickling, and another favourite of mine is making tzatziki. Oh, put the name up on the screen, which is a really delicious yogurt, cucumber and dill dip. And of course their blooms are magnificent, huge umbrella shaped flowers that look really pretty in garden posies. And you know who else loves them too? A lot of the beneficial bugs. It is just a magnet for them. Oh, I'm telling you, it's definitely a herb to add into your summer collection. I should mention one thing. A lot of people feel like once the dill starts to bloom, a lot of the energy goes into the flowers to produce seeds, and they notice that the flavour seems to diminish in the foliage. This is something I haven't really felt like is a big issue, so I mean, I don't mind them flowering at all and they'll still use their foliage. But it is something to point out if it's your first time giving them a try. I'm really starting to ramp things up with my seed sowing now. You know, it's not always successful for me. These 6, oh, I don't think I had anything in that one anyway. So these 6 punnets here, out of all of the seeds I sowed, I only had 1 of this, which is Auric Ruby. And then I didn't get any germination on anything else. A possible reason for this may be that I over watered these little punnets, and a telltale sign is, if you look a bit closely here, do you see on the surface, do you notice how it's slightly green? That looks like algae to me, which is brought about by a really wet surface. And then the spores grow into this layer of green. Oh well, not to worry, I've got plenty of time to sow seeds again. It's not even spring yet. The back of the greenhouse, I have this big clump of dahlia tubers, and it's reminded me to tell you something. For anyone who is coming into spring here in Australia, this is the time to start buying your dahlia tubers. And if you are watching it today when I've published it, you can go and check out Garden Express. It's not sponsored or anything, I'm just giving you the heads up. They released their dahlias this week and I've already purchased a few. I'll show you them when they arrive, but they have a lot in stock. It's a really wonderful selection, and if you're looking to either get started, get into this whole dahlia world of dahlias, which is very addictive, or if you're just looking to bump up your collection a bit, I would recommend you go and check them out today. I'm saying today only for one reason, and that is because dahlias seem to be in really hot demand. Not because they're all on sale at the moment, but just in general around the world. There seems to be a new love and passion for them, and I know a lot of people here in Australia feel that way too, so I don't want you to be disappointed. So if you're watching this today, go and check out their website. Like, I've been disappointed this week buying dahlias. I was on a website during the week for 2 hours. It just kept on crashing, and then by the end of it I didn't get anything. I actually didn't get anything from the 2 websites. I was actually really upset about it, but I mean, that's life, I guess. So when I went on Garden Express on Wednesday, I was so happy. I got a really nice selection. Well, I think that's about it for this week, everyone. Thanks for sticking around till the end. If you are a regular here, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, because that really supports my channel, gets my content out to more people. And if you are new, welcome. Thanks for watching. And if you like what you just saw, why not maybe consider subscribing? All of that would be so helpful. Well, anyway, until next Friday, I hope you all have a wonderful 7 days ahead, and happy gardening.